Welcome back, everybody. Patriots Super Bowl champion Malcolm Mitchell has become a beloved figure on and off the field here in New England.
And he officially announced his retirement from the NFL last weekend, but says New England is going to be his home now and will play a huge role in the new chapter in his life. And Malcolm Mitchell joins us tonight. Thanks so much for being here.
Thank you all for having me.
So good to see you.
I really appreciate you having me on.
Oh, it's okay. First of all, congratulations.
Thank you.
It's been a big week, and this is your first interview since you announced your retirement. And what are your thoughts? You know, what's your message to Patriots fans after your career here?
I loved every moment I spent in New England playing football. I love the organization, love the fans, love the community. I really consider New England a place that I always visit and, you know, the home in my heart. So that's not going to change.
We love hearing that. No one's going to forget your performance. Super Bowl 51, right. 5 catches in the fourth quarter, leading to the big comeback. I know I'll never forget it.
Never.
And I'm sure a lot of people, you're retiring. And of course, this week we learned that Rob Gronkowski, your former teammate, is retiring as well. Were you surprised that he was retiring, or did you think this makes sense for him at this point? He's won his Super Bowls and his body is starting to feel that wear and tear.
You never really know. Some people can sustain the injuries and continue on. You know, Gronk, 3 Super Bowls, 9 years, 79 touchdown, Hall of Famer. You know, it's really, I'm assuming for him, an emotional decision on what's best for his health. I don't know in particular, but I feel like he'll be okay.
Yeah. Just quickly, I was curious, do you have a fun memory or a great Gronk story that you'll always think about?
I'll never forget the practice where he was just having the best of time, and he always knew how to liven up every moment. He's a special guy, and I'm sure whatever he decides to do next in life, he'll take that same energy.
He loves life.
Yeah, that's for sure.
Well, you won the hearts of so many people by talking so openly about how important literacy is to you and your own learning journey. And we have a picture about of this wonderful image that people saw when you were at school in Georgia. And you belonged to a book club of women who really embraced you. This was a Steve Hartman piece on CBS News about that. And when you look back on this time in your life, why did you join that book club?
Well, I was really striving to be a better reader, and more than that, just a better overall individual. Wanted to gain more knowledge, wanted to expand my curiosity, and those women granted me those opportunities, regardless of how old I was, the color of my skin. Nothing really mattered besides that common interest in reading.
It was... So many people were taken by that image because it was you, this football player, with these women in Georgia in a book club. You said that when you got to college, you felt that your reading was not where you wanted it to be. And that was part of improving your literacy.
And that's one of the things that I'll drive home, you know, as my life continues, is the only thing that really matters is we all try to be the best we can possibly be. All the other social barriers that restrict us or make us feel confined into not stepping outside the boundaries, I'm going to fight against that in everything that I do.
Are you still in touch with those women?
I am, of course.
You guys reading books and trading notes every once in a while?
Yeah, we talk a bit. They help me out. Some have become instrumental in some of the things I want to do off the field. One has become a part of my foundation, so it's become a family.
I love that. And of course, this has led to your own passion for spreading that message to kids in school about the importance of reading. So tell us, you have an event tomorrow at the Copley Plaza. Tell us about this.
The Magical Evening of Literacy is an event that we host. Typically is in Atlanta. I spent a lot of time in Georgia. That's where I grew up. But this community means so much to me, and with my time in New England, I wanted to come and continue to share that message that, you know, reading can really help and encourage kids to grow up and accomplish whatever they want.
I've been to a school with you, and when you are introduced, they just go crazy. It's such a fun atmosphere. So you go to schools and you have these reading rallies. Today you were at the Perkins School in Boston. I think we have some video of that. Reading with the kids, talking with them. Explain your whole philosophy behind the reading rally and why these encounters mean so much to you.
Well, the reading rallies were designed to basically encourage reading and promote book ownership at a level that's just out of control. We call it a pep rally for reading. And I really wanted to intertwine excitement, pop culture, energy, fun, just all all of that into reading.
Yeah.
And we do that when we go to schools.
Yeah.
What do kids say to you? Have you had a story of a kid who's come up to you and said, you know, I don't know how to read as well as I would like to, and this has really helped me move forward with that? Do you have inspirational stories? I'm sure you must come across kids who just are inspired by you.
Yeah, there are a tremendous amount. They send in letters talking about how now they're encouraged to read, or they were struggling to read and now they found the motivation, or just simple stuff as giving the books, because one of the requirements for me to come is that every child in the school receives a book to introduce book ownership. So some kids, that's their first book that they were ever given. You know, so when a kid comes up to you and talks about that, it becomes extremely impactful.
Yeah, and it's amazing you became an author. Well, you're at University of Georgia. You wrote the book, The Magician's Hat. And I didn't realize you have a 3-book deal with Scholastic Books.
Correct.
So you have another one coming out?
Yes, I have another one I need to write.
Yeah, so you're working.
I probably should be working on that now.
So there'll be 3 in all.
Correct.
And, you know, what does it mean to you to become an author and know that children are holding your book that you wrote?
It's fun, you know, because it's also a bit of creativity that I get to express in the messages that I want to send to the kids and even beyond. So it's not something I've ever foreseen taking place, but, you know, I enjoy writing, so I'll continue to do that.
And we see in that video some of the kids reading Magician's Hat, which you wrote.
Right.
You have the second book coming out called Book Boy, right? Has that come out yet? And what is that about?
Right. Well, that's about a reluctant reader, and that'll come out end of this year or beginning of next year. It's really based on the publisher. So
is that based on your life, your experience?
I always intertwine a little personal message in there.
Yeah.
It's funny because even in The Magician's Hat, some of the kids try to pinpoint those messages that are personal, and I never reveal it.
Yeah. And that's great. You know, you're showing these children what a multi-dimensional person you are.
Right.
You said intertwining pop culture with reading. You also have a passion for photography and fashion.
Yeah.
You're looking at a fashion
Looking pretty good right now.
Yeah, that's right.
I
Looking pretty
appreciate
snappy.
that.
What are some of your other plans? What would you like to do?
I want to inspire. I want to inspire through creativity. What reading really opened up for me is this idea that anything is possible, but it's only possible when you don't allow, you know, outside noise and social biases or anything like that to distract you from really trying to be the best you can be. So when I go to write or when I design or I shoot photography, I just really take an organic eye at everything and then try to deliver it in a way that inspires somebody else just to be free.
Last question quickly. What are you reading right now?
Right now, I am reading, actually, I picked up a book about an electric guitar.
An electric guitar.
And Bruce Springsteen, so I'm really getting into music for some reason.
Well,
the boss, that's a good place to get into music.
I don't know, I have no idea where it's going to take me, but we'll see.
That's great. So the magical evening of literacy is tomorrow night at the Copley Plaza. We'll put all the information on cbsboston.com. Yes. Malcolm Mitchell, so great to see you again, and thanks for coming in tonight to talk to us.
Thank you.
You were such an inspiration. It's awesome to meet you, and thank you for coming in. We appreciate it.
Thank you, I appreciate it.
All right, and Barry Burbank, our other inspiration here. It's spring weather.
Oh, that's going to be hard to follow that.